You know, so far away. Oh yeah, you know that's where my heart is a turning. Oh yeah, and that's where the old folks stay. All the world is.
Isn't this rain a blessing?
Yes!
We needed it. What a spectacular night. You know, it was just under 2 years ago that we stood here and kicked off this campaign. And, you know, in a lot of ways this campaign began a long, long time ago. Maybe at the Polk County Youth Fair, maybe in a 4-H club meeting, maybe at the AGR house. But it began long before we actually stood on the steps and kicked this off. And tonight, it is exciting to stand before you and say that our race has been called and that we are successful as the next Commissioner of Agriculture for the state. It's so humbling to stand here where so many before me have been, and great leaders for our state, for our nation, who've come from Bartow, come from Polk County, who have been called on by their fellow man to serve as servant leaders, whether it was in Tallahassee or in Washington. And I want to just begin by thanking you for not only the trust that you've placed in me to serve as Commissioner of Agriculture, but the trust you've placed in me to represent you in Tallahassee and in Washington in the past. You know, this election night is a major statement. It's a powerful statement, a rejection of the direction that the country's been going. But it's also an affirmation that our system works, and that as frequently as every 2 years, we get to come together peacefully and decide the direction of America, the agenda of America, the agenda of our state. And tonight, the voters have sent a very powerful signal that they want people who are interested in solutions. And I think that that's what was so powerful about our campaign. You know, in an era of sound bites, we provided substance. In a campaign of profound negativity, we were positive, talked about what Florida can accomplish, what America can accomplish when we work together. Talked about enduring values when grandparents and grandchildren, parents and their children go into the ballot box, go into the polling places together, come to events like this together. In front of the fire station where volunteers come together and choose to sacrifice for us, in front of police stations, in front of the profound nature of our nation. And all of that comes together every 2 years in an election night, of just how exceptional and unique America is and will continue to be as long as people like you remain involved. America still is that beacon on a hill. It still is that shining light illuminating into the darkest corners of the world what mankind can accomplish with a limited government, with faith in the individual, with faith in the Almighty, and trusting the people, not the government. That's the American dream, and that's an enduring value. And the fact that we've come through a cycle where people have been quoting the Constitution and digging out pocket copies of it and really thinking deeply about what our state should be and what our nation should be. That's pretty special. My own journey began here in this town, and I want to take this opportunity to introduce my family, my parents, my sister, my brothers, our in-laws, my niece, nephews. I want to ask everyone to please give them a round of applause and acknowledge all the Putnams here tonight. And I want to thank my immediate family. I want to thank Melissa. I want to thank Abby and Libby and Emma and Hughes. It's a sacrifice to run statewide. Hughes, Thank you. It is. It's a lot of missed soccer games and a lot of missed nights with homework, and it's a lot on a family. Nobody forced me to do it. Nobody forced us to do it. We went into it willingly, but Melissa is my oak, and I'm grateful and for her love and support, and I wouldn't be here without her and without the rest of my family. I want to congratulate my opponents on a vigorous race, well run, and I think we should all acknowledge their efforts as part of this American dream and as part of this great process to seek out ways to serve. And I'd like to ask you to give them a big round of applause as well. You know, we've done some remarkable things in this campaign. We've taken new media and communicated our oldest industry, its importance and its relevance to our state. Florida's built on agriculture. America's built on agriculture. And no matter how smart we get, no matter how sophisticated we become, no matter how many new gadgets are invented, at the end of the day, we're all rooted in the land. And agriculture must remain a pillar of our economy. And as your next commissioner, I'm committed to making sure that it doesn't just survive, but it thrives in the state of Florida. We've tapped into the next generation of young farmers and ranchers. Men and women from Cantonment, Molino, up against the Alabama line, all the way down into the Keys. We've traveled this state. We've seen every corner of it. And it's a wondrous place. It's a magical place. It's a diverse place. You can travel from 4 different countries in less than 3 counties in southeast Florida. You can move through South Georgia and lower Alabama. You can see the splendor that God has put here in the state of Florida. And we're committed to stewarding that, recognizing that private property owners and private property rights are sacred, and that individuals and businesses and people finding their way in the world, at the end of the day, are most interested in taking care of what we have. And when we recognize that small businesses and small merchants and small farmers and ranchers are the backbone of this economy, we'll get this economy moving again. And we'll get people back to work. And Florida's brightest days are still in front of her. And I truly believe that with all of my heart. And I believe that today marks a new beginning for Florida's cabinet and a new beginning for Florida agriculture in the state of Florida to move forward and pull this economy out of the ditch that it is in and accomplish everything that we can accomplish when we work together on a common solution. We can do that. We've built new relationships. We've rejected the false choice that this campaign was attempted to be portrayed as, the false choice that somehow in Florida there's only what's good for agriculture and the land, and then there's what's good for consumers, and that somehow the two are incompatible. We rejected that because it's false, and it's incorrect, and it never was correct. Because at the end of the day, what's good for Florida businesses and what's good for Florida industry and what's good for Florida agriculture is good for Florida. Because the future of Florida agriculture is the future of Florida. We will move forward, stewarding those resources, embracing that industry, and we will protect Florida's consumers aggressively, efficiently. We will steward their hard-earned tax dollars, and we will run a 21st century operation that protects consumers from the scams and the deceptive trade practices and all the things that Florida also has a history of attracting here. And we will do that well, and we will do it we will be second to none. We will be second to none in the nation, not only promoting agriculture, but also protecting consumers, and those two move hand in hand. You know, the last couple of weeks of the campaign, I said that the next chapter of American history was being written today. And it has been. And I would pose the question, what will it say? And I believe that the next chapter of American history and the next chapter of Florida history that will be cemented this night with this election says that we're returning to our founding principles. We're returning to our founding values. And we want men and women of character and vision to lead our state and to lead our nation who are interested in solving problems, who are carrying those founding principles in their heart, but recognize that we have any number of difficult decisions that need to be made. And without the trust and the faith of the electorate, we'll never be able to make those tough decisions. We'll never be able to make the hard decisions to balance budgets so that the young people you see on this stage and the young people you see in this audience don't inherit a debt. We won't be able to make the difficult decisions to make sure that America remains strong in the world. And we won't be able to make the difficult decisions to make sure that Florida is the strongest, most competitive state in the Union. Together we can do that. Together we can move forward. And at the end of the day, as I have said it so many times, Florida is the best state in the Union. I wouldn't trade places with Indiana or Ohio or New Jersey. And thanks to your votes tonight, we're not going to slide into the abyss and become a California. Florida's best days are in front of us. The best days not just to visit or just to retire, but to raise your family and to start a business and to grow your business and to find your piece of the American dream here in the Sunshine State. And that's the vision, and that's the legacy of this night. So I want to thank all of you so much from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of all of our hearts. The people who knocked on doors in the summer heat, the people who waved signs in the rain, the people who made thousands of phone calls to turn out their friends and neighbors, the people who communicated to anyone they could reach that agriculture is not a cute, quaint, charming, esoteric relic of our past. It is a vibrant, vital part of America's future and Florida's future, and I'm so proud to be your next Commissioner of Agriculture for the great state of Florida. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Cooking in the microwave, got a 3-day bed, I don't plan to shave, and it's a goofy thing.